Newsblock.
4 days and still no water for parts of Paterson, New Jersey after a water main break on Friday. What we've learned this afternoon about when service could be back online. But first, after a pretty comfortable weekend, the heat is back on with temps soaring into the 90s. It could last through midweek. Good afternoon, I'm Bianca Peters. Welcome to the News Block. As we take a live look outside, we're going to start with a weather alert. Let's bring in Liv Johnson for a first look at the forecast. Hey, Liv.
Hey, Bianca. Yeah, the first alert is that we have an air quality alert. This is not so much smoke from Canadian wildfires like we were dealing with last week. This is more about elevated ozone pollution and then also this oppressive heat that we're kind of starting to experience today. So that's for Connecticut, Long Island, all 5 boroughs of New York City, the top half of New Jersey, and then into the Hudson Valley as well. Currently, temperatures have risen quite a bit, 88 degrees in New York City. Same thing for Long Island. We're looking at 85 down the shore, so a bit more comfortable for parts of New Jersey. But we have hit 90 in Newark and also 92 up in Hartford. Now, thankfully, those feel like temperatures are actually cooler than what we actually have as a real temperature. That's because we've been spoiled with dew point temperatures the past few days. It's not too humid. Mid-60s is when it starts to feel humid, and we're not there yet. However, we will be for the next couple of days. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are going to be a bit more humid. And then we also do have the potential to hit a heat wave. If we hit 90 today and the next 2 days, that would be the criteria for an official heat wave. Showers Wednesday night into Thursday, but other than that, a pretty dry 7 days. Bianca.
Sounds good, Liv. Thanks so much. Now to Paterson, New Jersey. That's where emergency repairs continue to fix a broken water main that's left thousands without water in this extreme heat. Fox 5's Antoine Lewis has been in Paterson all day, and officials just gave an update on the situation. Antoine, bring us up to date.
Well, Bianca, everyone's asking when will this be resolved, and unfortunately that right now remains to be seen. We are in the parking lot of John F. Kennedy High School, which is nearby Hinchliffe Stadium, which is where the water main break took place. And here's the reason why we are here. A comfort zone has been set up to impact the residents affected by this water main break. We're talking upwards of 160,000 people here in Paterson alone. This facility is allowing people to take showers. They can also use the bathroom should they want to, because that's why it's here. This water interruption is now entering day 4. As for the other question you were talking about, repairs to the 30-inch water main break that broke on Friday, they're proving problematic. Officials say that they have yet to isolate the exact spot where the rupture occurred. The infrastructure is more than 100 years old, which is what's causing the problem. And with that, an exact timeline as to when the issue will be fully resolved remains to be seen at the moment. Take a listen.
As the mayor suggested or said, 140-year-old infrastructure. There's about 3 major pipelines that go through here. We've isolated one. The leak is still uncontrolled, so it did not have the required impact that we wanted. We're looking to recharge a line and again trying to get flow out to Paterson as soon as we can.
Just 2 boxes of water, like 6 in total.
How many people at home you're trying to take care of with these 2?
We have 4. Yeah, so.
How's everything at home? Are people frustrated? Y'all
Yeah, frustrated for sure. Everybody in the neighborhood. It's been difficult.
So, Bianca, everyone has to remember it's not just drinking water that the water is being used for. They can't flush the toilet. They can't take a bath. They can't take a shower. That's why this facility is so important and proving vital. It was established, if you will, on Saturday. Our boil water advisory remains in effect. That number has actually grown to encompass 3 other neighboring towns. So we're talking now upwards of more than 200,000 people that have been impacted by this. And once again, officials are hoping that sometime in the next 24 to 36 hours that may give them some sort of light. But right now, again, with the 140-year-old pipes, they're just trying to stay optimistic and trying to get as much information out as they can. So I hate to say it, but this is where things stand right now. That's the update from Paterson, B.
All right, Antoine, thank you very much. Meanwhile, developing right now, 1 person is dead, dozens are injured, and 2 people are believed to be missing after an explosion at a steel plant in Pennsylvania. This happened at a facility near Pittsburgh. We just got in this dramatic video showing the moment of that explosion. It happened earlier this morning. And early reports said that many workers are trapped under rubble, so there's a huge emergency response on the scene. No word yet on the extent of those injured, but we're going to have the very latest on the 5 o'clock news. Now to the New York City race for mayor, which is getting more heated by the day. Democratic candidate Zohran Mamdani kicking off his tour against President Trump today. This morning in Midtown, Mamdani was joined by elected officials and union leaders from Local 1199 to announce the kickoff of his 5 boroughs against Trump tour. He's taking aim at President Trump for what he says are policies that harm working New Yorkers. But one of his opponents is attacking him for living in a rent-stabilized apartment Andrew Cuomo tweeting that he plans to introduce Zoran's Law to prevent people above a certain income from living in subsidized housing.
What do we know about this policy proposal beyond the fact that it seeks to evict me from my apartment? Like so much of Andrew Cuomo's politics, it is characterized by a petty vindictiveness. It leaves.
Meantime, Mondani says he plans to take his anti-Trump rallies to every borough in the city between now and Election Day. And a programming note, tune into our new show, Battleground NYC, The Fight for Your Vote, hosted by SE Cup. We are following the very latest up-to-the-minute information on the race for New York City mayor. This streams every weeknight at 7 p.m. on the Fox Local app and anytime on demand from now until Election Day. Meantime, Mayor Adams was in Queens this morning announcing an expansion of the NYPD's quality of life teams. The mayor visited the Astoria houses to make that announcement. The teams, which were first launched back in April, will now be present in every police precinct in Queens. They will address complaints registered with 311 and help reduce the presence of panhandling, homeless encampments, and reduce noise complaints. The police commissioner says the effort has seen solid results so far.
Those teams responded to more than 17,000 311 and 911 calls. They towed over 700 abandoned vehicles. They seized over 300 illegal mopeds, scooters, and e-bikes, and brought quite visible results to blocks that needed it.
The NYPD will continue to expand its Q team efforts. Next week, teams will expand to every precinct on Staten Island. And a big announcement in the nation's capital at the White House today. President Trump saying he is enacting a federal takeover of Washington, D.C.'s police force to clean up crime. Fox's Rebecca Castor has the details.
President Trump says it's Liberation Day in D.C. We are taking our capital back and announced the federal government is taking control of the local police force and deploying the National Guard.
The murder rate in Washington today is higher than that of Bogota, Colombia, Mexico City, some of the places that you hear about as being the worst places on earth.
The federal oversight comes as the district is struggling to manage a rise in youth crime. These are officers responding to a shooting in what's considered a nice D.C. neighborhood Saturday night. Police say about 100 teens were gathered in the park when a young man started shooting. Fortunately, no one was injured.
I see too much violent crime being committed by young punks, but they know that we can't touch them. Why? Because the laws are weak.
But not everyone thinks it's necessary for the federal government to step in.
Whose city?
Our city! Some D.C. residents think it's overreach.
He wants to assert more of his authority over D.C., and we are here to say he can't have it. Trump does not care about D.C.'s safety. He cares about control.
And the mayor points out violent crime is down from previous years.
We have spent over the last 2 years driving down violent crime in this city, driving it down to a 30-year low, in fact.
President Trump also plans to tackle the city's homelessness problem by giving them places to stay outside the Capitol. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
A judge has ruled the grand jury testimony that led to the indictment of Ghislaine Maxwell cannot be released. The judge saying that casually releasing the transcripts would undermine the foundations of the grand jury process. Federal prosecutors had asked to unseal the documents in a bid for transparency over the Epstein files. Maxwell was convicted of helping Epstein prey on underage girls. She's currently serving a 20-year prison sentence. Meanwhile, President Trump speaking out about his upcoming meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin. During a news conference today, he said twice that he'd be traveling to Russia for the summit, even though it's taking place in Alaska on Friday. Trump says that he's going to review what Russia's parameters are to end the war, but made no promises about the outcome. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has so far been excluded from that summit. European leaders are trying to set up virtual meetings with Zelensky and Trump ahead of the summit. And some major flooding in Wisconsin after severe storms hit the southeastern part of the state. Cell phone video shows the scene in Wauwatosa, one of the hardest hit communities there. The heavy rainfall caused a local river to run over its banks, flooding roads, parks, and construction areas. And people in the area dealing with extensive property damage. However, there have not been any reports of serious injuries. Meanwhile, we may be talking about a heat wave in New York this week, but the Farmer's Almanac is out with its prediction for the winter. It's forecasting a frigid and snowy winter this year. Winter officially begins December 21st, but the Almanac says that low temperatures may hit some states as early as September. It forecasts that the upcoming winter season won't be quite as bone-chilling as last year, which is good news, and says to expect more of an average old-fashioned winter. The coldest temps will be from the northern plains to New England. States along the Atlantic coast will also see significant rain and snow. Let's take a live look outside right now. We're talking about things cooling down in September. It's a little stressful. I feel like we were just still trying to enjoy the rest of summer.
Yeah, that was a huge vibe kill right there. I will say, though, last September was beautiful. I think October is going to be nice, too, so we don't have to worry about winter just yet, especially when we have a potential heat wave. That's 3 days in a row where you hit 90 or higher. We're looking at several spots in the Tri-State area that could see a heat wave starting today and then through Wednesday. We do have midweek showers and storms just Wednesday afternoon, evening into Thursday, but most of the week is dry, and then the weekend actually looks pretty nice, a little less hot and humid. 88 degrees is the current temperature in New York City. Mostly sunny skies. We have 90 for LaGuardia, and then cooler for Atlantic City, where it's just 82 degrees right now. But it's really hot throughout the entire Northeast. Look at Boston's 89 degrees right now. Buffalo, 90. Detroit, 90. Columbus, Ohio is 90. So is Indianapolis. So it's kind of a potential heat wave situation for a lot of areas in the Northeast and New England. Now, at least we do have high pressure that's keeping us dry, and also with those mainly clear skies for today and tomorrow. Again, it's not until Wednesday that we see some showers approach, and that's behind a cold front, well ahead and behind a cold front that passes through midweek, and that also gives us less humid conditions for the end of our week. So good things coming once we get through this potential heat wave. 71 degrees is your low tonight in New York City, but most of us will be in the upper to mid 60s, lower 60s for Hudson Valley, and then Monticello actually dips into Monticello, just 59 for the low for those overnight lows. Tomorrow, a couple degrees warmer for New York, but not by much. 92 for the city, same thing for White Plains. Stays cooler down the shore in New Jersey, just a high of 79 tomorrow for Belmar, and 84 if you're out east on Long Island. So like I said, a pretty dry 7 days, but Wednesday night or afternoon into Thursday, we have some showers. Cools down a little bit by the end of the week, but what really is going to make a difference is we're pretty humid for Tuesday, Wednesday, and then it gets a little better once that cold front moves through. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday looking a little less humid, still hot, but pretty nice for outdoor plans, plenty of sunshine. There's always that chance of a quick afternoon shower with these humid conditions, but so far this week looks pretty decent. Bianca.
Sounds good, Liv. Thanks so much. Well, that's your news block for now. Bianca Peters, thanks for joining us. Tune into the 5 o'clock news on Fox 5 and keep it right here on Fox Local for all the day's news as it develops. We'll see you back here tomorrow.